Thank you, Dr. Len. It's a real pleasure to be here, ladies and gentlemen. And as Dr. Len mentioned, I was born in Mauritius, so I learned French from a very young age, and we moved to South Africa. So I learned English and a few other languages there as well. And throughout my career, it's been fun and very learning wow, because it's been a question of networking. All of us as human beings love being part of networks. And now the trending word is tribe. So who is your tribe? Who are the people that you engage with? Who are the people that you can reach out to? And one of the ways of doing that as an entrepreneur is to do business-to-business linkages. You could be an entrepreneur in your own right, and you have a strategy that you want to follow. You need to find a target. You need to be able to define that strategy. And whilst you define the strategy, perhaps you want to do one-on-one business opportunities, perhaps you want to target a group of businesses. So market linkages talks not only entrepreneur to entrepreneur, it could be a service-based organization, it could be the very venue we're in here today, which is Honoris Educational Network. They are grooming young people to go out into the world and to forge their own path. So ask yourself pertinent questions before you engage with people. What do you want to share with them? And perhaps it's not everything about what you want. Perhaps listen carefully to what the person is looking for as well. So in a business-to-business market linkage environment, it could be that somebody just needs the contact name of somebody else. You arrived here this morning, somebody showed you a QR code and said, do you want to go immediately onto the free Wi-Fi? Now that free Wi-Fi was offered by Rogers Capital. They've got routers all over these rooms, and I've never seen such a fast Wi-Fi operating. So there was something that Rogers did as one of the main sponsors. They are giving of themselves and giving you the opportunity to then promote. So you've got your hashtag. Are you hashtagging Honoris, Highlands, Mauritius? You could be hashtagging your service, and the community that are following you are also giving you a like, giving you a heart. And you can then tag other people in return as well. So when you sit down and you think of what strategy are you going to use to grow your own business, it's important to think of what questions are you going to need to ask of a potential client. What is that question going to be? Are you going to help the client solve an issue? And you know, Steve Jobs of Apple Computers always said, if you define the problem correctly, you almost have the solution. But it pays to listen. Listen in between the lines of what your prospect or your new client is looking for. Ask the probing questions so that you can dig down, narrow down whether or not you can be of assistance. If you can't be of assistance to a potential client, perhaps you know somebody who could. If you have a look today at the group of companies that we've got as exhibitors, we've got people who are in the service industry. We've got people who want to facilitate your entry into Mauritius. I work with BTG in South Africa, and here is Candace Thompson offering a group of services to clients who are abroad, as well as the clients who start establishing themselves in Mauritius as their new destination, their new home, for example. So the strategy that you apply in market linkages and business-to-business opportunities could be to find new clients on behalf of your client. Do they need new customers? Are they looking for a photographic or video service that they need at an event such as this? Are they looking for distributors? So now I'm going to share with you a couple of case studies that I've had a lot of fun working with in Mauritius. You may not know, but there is an eyewear company in Mauritius. It's the largest eyewear manufacturer in the entire southern hemisphere on this small island of Mauritius. And they've already grown their networks in Europe, they've grown their exports to the USA, and they contacted me to look for distributors, to look for resellers in South Africa. So we were able to put together a database of potential eyewear companies in South Africa who are looking for a much closer supplier. Remember, you can take an aeroplane from Johannesburg to Mauritius. It'll take you 3.5 to 4 hours this way and half an hour longer going into South Africa. And for them, that is really important because now the client is not that far away. It's a lot easier to do business when you start close by. We have another client. She's looking for a new industry sector altogether. She manufactures stainless steel tanks in South Africa. There are new technologies coming out. One of those new technologies that we need in South Africa is green hydrogen. Green hydrogen as a gas is not an easy product to contain. So we will be arranging for her to go to California in the USA to look at the latest trends. What are the Californians developing that can assist her to bring that technology into South Africa so that she can manufacture under license using the know-how and the expertise that has already been developed in the USA. So do you see how important it is to keep ahead of trends as well? But do your homework before you take the leap. So research, check that you've got an understanding of what the client needs because your reputation is at stake. So if you're going to be working with an educational network, for example, and they are looking for more students to come and attend the courses and take part in their training, you need to see what type of student are they looking for? Who is offering what type of course? Are the students going to be able to be easily accommodated in a physical environment? Are we looking at homeschooling? Are we looking at online training? So the service that you ask of your client is very important as well. And Dr. Len mentioned, for example, in the introduction, that there's also exports and imports. So just like the Mauritian eyewear manufacturer, there is another company who are looking to find distributors for fuel additives. As you know, we're moving into the cleaner environment. So from diesel to petrol, and now we're looking at even electric vehicles. So are you keeping up to date with trends? So if your company has got a product that will clean the fuel and make it more earth-friendly, then perhaps that's something you need to consider in your own company. Yesterday I was speaking to somebody who said that they are now converting the footprint, their ecological footprint on their estate into a more eco-friendly opportunity. And that's important because they could get special funding from the European Union to assist them to transition because it's not cheap. These new technologies at the outset are not always very cheap. So until many more people adopt new technologies, you're going to have to see if you can find a specialist funder that will help you to install. It could be solar panels. And as you know, there are a lot of new technologies coming around with energy in particular. If you're going to export, this is another case study, and you're not familiar with the potential supplier that you have in the new country that you're approaching, why don't you talk to your own commercial bank? They have an international trade division. That international bank can then check the bona fides of the potential supplier, because you want to make sure that you're going to get paid for what you want to purchase, or you want to get the correct delivery from what you purchase. So your international bank or your commercial bank has various instruments that they can use to help you. One of those is a letter of credit. So the bank to the other bank takes the risk. That document dictates all the terms of your exports, all the terms of your imports. So it's really critical for you to start building the relationship with your bank if you wish to go into imports and exports. Best practice is also important because it keeps you ahead of the curve. So read, learn, and this is a perfect opportunity that MBN Expo has created for us. MBN Mauritius, we've got, I think, over 300 members in this organization. I'm a proud member for 3.5 years, and next year in April, I will be renewing my membership. And you can say why? Because the linkages that Denise Peter, the founder and CEO of this organization, Denise, Dr. Len and many others are creating these linkages for us. Here we are at the end of a COVID pandemic. It was postponed, but here we are in person doing the face-to-face networking that we all enjoy, I'm sure. So perhaps at this expo, you have the opportunity to land a big customer. Perhaps you have the opportunity to launch a new product. And I've already seen somebody with a cell phone, and they said to me, "Oh, I don't hand out business cards anymore. Give me your cell phone, scan my QR code, and my contact details will automatically come onto your phone." It's clean. We don't need to chop down any trees. We don't need to pay for an actual business card anymore. So environments such as this are ideal to create the linkages that we are looking for. So it doesn't matter if you're looking for a key strategic partner. It doesn't matter if you want to build a list of hot leads whilst you're here today. This is the opportunity for you to do so. And I think at the end of the day, we are personal and human beings, and we just love that engagement that we miss so much during COVID. There's always an opportunity for Zoom. A lot of the work that my firm does is initially on Zoom because it's cost effective. Once you've asked the necessary questions, once you've built your strategy as to what you're looking for, is it a new client you're looking for? The latest client I have in Mauritius, she has a big PR agency. She built my pop-up banner. I'm so proud. It's the first pop-up banner I've ever had. And she is looking to target a niche market in South Africa. And I will be able to compile a database in the hospitality industry for her. She wants to be able to target hotels and to promote her PR agency and the services, and at the same time she's promoting her home island of Mauritius as well. So it doesn't matter who your client is, if you are building new relationships, venues and events such as an expo, a trade show is really important. And the last example that I'm going to share with you is don't be worried about reaching out to the public sector. In Mauritius, I work with Economic Development Board of Mauritius, EDB Mauritius, in Cathedral Square in Port Louis. For 3 years, I managed their inward trade and investment missions where they were looking to promote Mauritius in Johannesburg, Durban, and Cape Town. So we profiled the types of clients that EDB Mauritius wanted to target. I invited those companies to attend the events, and EDB Mauritius brought with them clothing manufacturers. They brought with them jewelry manufacturers. There was somebody who was producing organic moringa tea, and he was able to look at potential clients. He's looking for supermarket distributions so that he can promote his organic moringa tea in South Africa. And if you in Mauritius are looking for a particular product in South Africa, the South African government will pay for you as the buyer from Mauritius to fly to South Africa, to attend a trade show, to meet with the South African manufacturers, so that we can then find that manufacturer and exporter to export back to Mauritius. So as you can see, work with the private sector, but take up the opportunities that your own governments are promoting and offering to you as the entrepreneur. So in closing, I would like to thank MBN, Denise Pito. It's been an absolute pleasure to share a few ideas with you this morning, and to gain maximum exposure for your own product as well as your service. These are the sort of things that you can take part in as well. So thank you, Dr. Len. Thank you to MBN Expo, and please pop upstairs to H7, which is my stand, and I look forward to engaging with you further. Thank you, everybody.